Are we on?
Yep.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
4.
1, 5, 10, 6, 8.
69.
3, 2, 86 them. You know, it's annoying when somebody else is on their phone and then you look up driving on your phone and then somebody's not going because they're on their phone and then you honk at them. We all do that kind of stuff. Have you ever like been driving down the road and seen somebody on their phone going and you're like get off your phone, and then your phone rings and you're like, hey, what's up?
Or you're already on the phone and you're telling somebody about how much this person on the phone's annoying you.
Exactly.
You're telling it to the person that you're on the phone with.
Never me. I would never do such a thing. Several years ago, we moved into a house, and in this house, it was a beater. This was back in the days I had an old Ford 1990 F-150. Many of you have heard the story about my old Ford. It was a real beauty and a beast all in one. It actually had more rust than paint. I would have to drive down I would be driving down the highway if I could get it like going fast enough. I would do one of these things when I was driving it just because I thought that helped. It probably didn't. Rust chips and paint chips would be like flying off of this truck. It was quite a sight to see. And one of the funnier things was when I would go to start it, and this wasn't funny for me, it is now, but it was probably funny for people. But it was also a free fireworks show because I would have to pop the hood, and for those of you who are car freaks, I would have to put a screwdriver in the solenoid, which I guess is where electricity goes from the starter to the battery, and it actually starts the vehicle. So that's actually how I had to start this car. It would have been a luxury for me to be able to start my car with a screwdriver in the actual ignition and not have to get out and pop the hood. I say that because that was back in the old days, and we've all got those were the days stories about when we had to walk 2 miles uphill both way in the snow to school, didn't have enough money, we were so broke we couldn't afford to pay attention, just all of these kind of down by the river stories. And I've got my own. I mean, many of you have heard my story a number of times, but recently we wanted to buy a house, and for many of you, you know that I worked construction for a long time. Back in 2008 when I got clean, I knocked on my dad's door and I asked him if he could really let me sleep on his couch and kind of help me save my life, and he did. And I ended up staying clean and building my life and putting the pieces back together. He actually let me come and work on construction jobs with him. He would actually pay me out of his own pocket. He would go and do jobs, and he didn't get a raise, he didn't get a pay increase, but he would actually bring me just to give me a safe place to be able to make some money and pay me out of his own salary. You know, I was grateful, but there was over the past couple of years I've taken him on vacations and stuff like that, but recently when we bought the house, this new house that we just bought, there was a lot of work to be done, and there actually still is. If any of you have ever bought and remodeled a house, it is like a David and Goliath. I feel like the house is Goliath. We had an opportunity to be able to sit down with my dad and ask him if he'd be willing to help out with the house, and he said yes. And so he's been over here, and we actually worked together on a bunch of stuff for like a month and a half. We built cabinets, we remodeled the bathroom, and it's been just this really cool journey of us being able to, I picked back up the tools and we were working together again after not working together for some years. And it was just this really cool experience. I felt like it was a way for me to be able to connect with him on a deeper level. Not really thank him or repay him, because there's no way that I can really do that to any of my parents or anybody who's helped me along the way, besides going out there and paying it forward to somebody else. But it was just this unique opportunity for us to be able to do something together that we used to do in sort of a different situation with a lot less stress and a lot more joy, and it has just been a really incredible journey. So we're gonna pop over to the house right now and I'll show you around. We have arrived at the new residence. It is a again, like I said, it seems like it's David versus Goliath, and the project here is Goliath, right? And there's my dad. He's hanging out over here. He doesn't.
Gene versus Goliath.
Exactly. So there's a lot, too much to show in one thing. So what I want to do is just walk over here real quick and show you guys something that my dad and I did together, which was a really cool project. This is the laundry room. Let me shoot on the light. Now, women, eat your heart out. Okay, this is the custom laundry room. Now, what was cool about this was that we got to actually build these custom, and my dad led a lot of that project, and just like he has on pretty much all of the stuff that we've done construction. But this was really cool because we got to build it from scratch.
We built it from scratch, from the very piece, every little piece of wood and trim and paint, and we had to wait till the machines got here so we know exactly how to build a cabinet around it so it fit in. Everything was built just specifically for this room. It's the only way we could get it to fit.
Now it looks like hell right now because things are everywhere. I'm going to bring you guys back through when we're done with the project, and we will look at everything, and I'll show you like the entire house. One of the coolest things for me was, and a lot of people who are watching know about our history. I probably tell our story a lot more than you know about, but you've heard me tell it quite a bit.
I've heard it many times.
Well, you lived it though too. And when, I was talking about a little bit before how when I got clean back in 2008, and even many times before that, you would bring me out on the construction sites, and if you weren't just letting me kind of come along, you were paying me out of your own salary. But that was a lot different of an experience. Even when we were working construction at the last time we worked on a job, which was some years ago, what was one of the coolest parts for me was when you said something to the effect of, "It's really a pleasure to work with you," and it was just really meaningful. This was really cool to work together, and I had to kind of bounce off, and I abandoned you a little bit there at the end because I got busy with some other stuff, but it was a really meaningful.
But it's been wonderful. It was meaningful working for you. It's been
working
great.
For me. You hear that? Working for me.
Working with you, for you. It was just like old times, except 100% better.
Yeah.
We actually enjoyed each other's company. That's how we worked.
There were some days that we didn't, huh?
It's been a thrill. It's been a thrill to work on your house and do these things for you, and to see how you've grown, and this is all part of it. And
nothing better.
I feel blessed to be a part of it.
Well, when I grew up, my dad always said, put family first, and that was one of the things that you kind of instilled in me. So it was cool, and I would say that we are living that today.
Yes.
Putting family first and making family a priority before everything, business, any of that kind of stuff.
We didn't always do that.
Oh yeah.
Both of us, including me, but we do.
Yeah.
It is the most important.
That's it, guys.
See ya.
Love you, Dad.
Love you too, bud.